Hello everybody, welcome back to Let's Play HOI4, the New Order as the Iberian Union. Let us continue on from where we last left off. Oh, black is black. No, black is black. Songs written in Iberia rarely become popular outside of Iberia itself. Portuguese songs are really listened to even in Brazil, much less outside the Portuguese-speaking world. Spanish songs are equally rare in Latin America. But the Madrid-based rock band Los Bravos has defied expectations to become the first ever Iberian band to release an international hit. Unlike virtually all other Iberian bands, Los Bravos performs their song primarily in English and is heavily inspired by British rock bands. Black is Black is not exactly a creative masterpiece. Its lyrics are blatantly copied from the Beatles' Babies in Black. Is that a real song? Its instrumentals are especially similar to those of the Rolling Stones' Paint of Black. If you can dispute that, it's a fun song. The simple bass and drums perfectly accentuate the easy-to-remember lyrics, making an incredibly catchy tune. Black is Black is #1 in Canada's weekly charts, #2 in the United States, and has proven highly popular in Italy, Australia, Switzerland, South Africa, and of course, Iberia itself. Is Black in Black, like, is that a real song? Like, Babies in Black, I don't remember from the Beatles' discography. The bottom. The months after the fateful altercation in the inspector's study had been a blur. Each day he lost himself in the case as parts of his personal life quickly began to fall away. With no consistent stream of income, it came as no surprise that his house in Eastern Vasloid would soon be repossessed. No less by the local bank, to which the inspector had been a loyal customer for many years. He would never forget the excitement in the clerk's eyes as he brought in the deed. The inspector had briefly searched for clues to where his wife had gone, only to find the same results he had been getting with the case. He had felt a harsh jab upon his realization, something which slowly died away as he continued with his work. It had not taken long for him to find a new base of operation, his old school friend's house. The inspector had been lucky. The newlywed couple had 2 spare rooms prepared for when the house would eventually become lively with the cries of children. Sitting at a new desk, he noticed a letter balanced on top of the case files. One quick tear and he saw the dreaded word he prepared himself for: divorce. It should have been obvious. No one gets a legal divorce in Iberia. She had traveled abroad. The letter dug deep into his chest, past the ribcage and lungs, straight into his heart. A new husband far away in the distant former colonial lands of Venezuela. A job she is finally enjoying. His eyes began to blur as he read the next sentence. A child, not yet born, but soon to enrich the newly formed family's lives. Streams ran down his unshaven face, pooling on the case files in front of him. The inspector continued reading as soon as his despair turned to white-hot rage. She was offering him a job at her new husband's steel factory. Did she feel sorry for him? Did she not realize the importance of this task? He grabbed a lighter and cigarette out of his pocket. With a swift movement, he lit both tobacco and letter. Throwing the burning mess out the window in front of him, he returned to the case file. Throwing the burned mess of the outside the window in front of him, he again returned to the case files in front of him. Not a bit of awkward writing there. Nothing mattered now. Only the case. I think you've been doing this case, I think, since, like, beginning of the campaign. So, like, 4 years at this point. You think at some point you'd be done with it. We got more technology. Let's go with line artillery. We have 19 resources. 34, 33, 42. People have been saying that we should probably focus on just disbanding one. Like, one at a time instead of, like, evenly spreading them out, which I understand that argument. When are you done? 68 more days. What do you do? More stability. I mean, it's light black market trading. You know what? 1.5% stability is not a big deal. So, you know what? Okay. If that's the case, then let's strike at... You're the cheapest. CNT is the cheapest, but you're 34. But honestly, I still think it makes sense to kind of strike everybody at once. You know, let's decrease black market trading. Add more money to the dam budget. That seems okay. I'm sure we might get use of it soon. And again, right now the Iberian Council in charge. Salzir does not have full control yet, which I think is good. So you'll be ready in 26 days. You'll be ready in 75 days. We have 32. We can spend all of them. But I mean, like, no one's even at 50% support right now, so it's not... I think not right now a huge deal. Let's get better flamethrowers, I guess. I don't think technology makes any effort on those resources, so... Nothing we have to really worry about. Okay, right now, how stable is our... How stable is Iberia right now? We are extremely stable. We're getting 10% stability because of the council. We still have crippled sovereignty, but... Maybe that's not going to be a big deal soon, hopefully. Fingers crossed. And again, we're trying to modernize Iberia as much as we can. Bring in some liberal reforms. What do you do? You are more popularity. Will decrease miscellaneous cost. I mean, we can get some factories. I mean, we need to get factories anyway, but you know what? Let's do you first. Market Liberal is currently a 19% support. Does that make you know us? Does that make you the biggest? No, that spot is still the biggest grouping of political powers. Sure, you know what? Get Flamethrower 2 and Flamethrower 3 at the exact same time. I'm sure nothing can possibly go wrong there. By the way, do any of you have any effects on... No, none of you have anything to do with actually fighting terrorism. Essential political stability is ensured. The anti-corruption forces. I mean, you're going to give us an extra 1% market liberal, which basically is meaningless. Authoritarian democracy goes down by 5%. We remove the Iberian economic nightmare. I mean, that seems good. I mean, actually, what is a nightmare right now? I mean, it's actually really bad. By the way, can I throw more money at this? Yes. Redirect military resources. We're now at 33. It's not quite enough to weaken you, though. You're 36. You know what? Okay, now you're 30. We'll save a few more points, because I feel like CNT is typically like a relatively big party, even though we did blow them up in Barcelona. They'll probably take like all of Catalonia with them, which is a little bit worrying. Central Iberian Federation draws closer to the United States. I don't think we care about that too much. You know, add $2 million to the damn budget. We're 90%. And in 12 days, we'll see if that actually is the final decision, or if there's going to be another one. I'm hoping that's it, and then we get like a big boost. Like, oh, look, you've done it. You've made Iberia. The dam is cool, and we're a rich country. Everything's going swimmingly. Okay, so let's distribute the industries. When is, yeah, 22 payments, so, damn. Reinforce, you know, add another $1 million. You have 2 more days until you're ready. I'm hoping that's the last, but I mean, is that going to be worth 10% in completion? We have 14 days we can get, this will increase AS resource by 7, which I think will actually be enough to crush CNT. Or at least I'm hoping. Attach the power plant to the grid. You need $5 million. We have 4. You know what? Attaching power plant to the grid, I mean, I guess that makes sense. We're now at 34. You're 37, 39. You're 49. But once, yeah, I understand. Like, once we don't have to focus on, like, 4 different groups at the same time, we'll be able to use our resources maybe a little bit more efficiently. In 2 more days, you will boost this by 7. I'll probably have to refresh this screen. No, 41. So do we take out the Portuguese or CNT? Well, here's the thing. You are currently at... We're currently at 3. I'm assuming it's 3 out of 10? Because you're 49. You're a little bit too expensive. But actually, it looks like FSLP is a little bit more advanced. And let's crush them. Can I strike at you yet? No. Now I can. And there we go. We've dealt with you, which means I can probably raid supplies. And you know what? Let's just raid our supplies for now. But that's the second group that we have now dealt with. We're slowly dealing with the terrorism. So we're two for two. Green over red. While they might be the lesser partner of our union, Portugal has not been spared the scourge of terrorism. The communist FSLP has relentlessly terrorized our Western brothers, killing hundreds of their bloody quest for revolution. Now the hills and shores of fair Portugal are peaceful at last. They are being driven from their urban hideouts. The FSLP fled into the countryside, taking up refuge in the wild places of the lands they sought to liberate. The Portuguese branch of the AES, however, had studied all their moves and learned their devious tricks. Come to a final assault, there was nothing the Reds could do to escape justice. At long last, the green and red of Portuguese flag can fly happily alongside that of Iberia. No longer do patriot workers of the West need to fear being targeted as class traitors or collaborators. With this blow, Portugal is at last free from fear and class conflict. So again, we're still very stable. I'm glad to report that. But after this, we're severe at 0, so I guess CNT would be the next one where you want to strike. They cost 35. It's going to take some time for us to get these points up. But again, if we're only dealing with 2, and I don't think they're going to increase faster than before. So we're basically having, if you want to think about it, we have twice as much resources for the AES as we did when we started. More guns. Than when we started this terrorism expedition. You know, does that make sense? I feel like in my brain it makes sense. It might not make sense in like the game. Delocalization. Some days Diego wondered why he even bothered getting up so early. His work had become so crushing, so monotonous, so ingrained in every day that he lived that he felt like he could never wake up to his normal time again. Then after this daily regret, he would head out to the bedroom and prepare himself for the day ahead. Yet every morning, right as he was about to leave his house, he would see his wife, and all of a sudden the hours of labor did not seem so futile. For as much as he detested his work, he loved his wife more, and so he would embark on this journey to work with a head full of grinding ambition and a heart full of fondness. But this day was doomed to be different than those before it. As he arrived at the entrance of the factory, he realized that there was a large group of his fellow workers who had congregated around some sort of notice. Diego was not one to waiting mindlessly, so he pushed his way through the crowd so he could get a better look. Once he made his way to the front, he soon found himself in a state of shock. As he inspected the note, it read, "It's been decided that this factory is to be relocated to another part of Iberia. As such, all those who worked here previously are, from this day forward, no longer employed by this company." His heart sank into his stomach as the thought of what his wife would think engulfed him. This is all they had. Without it, they would be destitute, without hope, without future. Yet, he would not let himself give up like that. He marched himself off to the riverbank where he saw some of his co-workers were headed. He was determined to rally them in action and win back their work. "Come on, we can fight this," he cried, stifling his grief as he did so. "It's not over. This isn't over. We will win. We just have to fight." One of the workers got up to his despondent slump, placed a rough-handed hand on Diego's shoulder, and looked him directly in the eye. "Diego, there's nothing we can do." Yeah, so all the factories, of course, have now gone to Burgos. Maybe Leon? I don't know. It doesn't actually say where they went. We're going to get more guns in 3 days for you. We have 4 resources. And again, we're just going to keep funneling weapons into the AES and hope nothing goes bad. Like, how many rifles do we have? Because I know this costs 3,000? 3 or 5,000 each. Oh, we have 5,000 rifles, so we're fine on this. Yeah, it's 5,000 rifles, which we should have more than enough of. So we now have 13. Okay, strike them all here. You need 33 resources. You need 48. Like, it's going to be an uphill battle to deal with... Oh, the game's paused. It's going to be an uphill battle to deal with all of the situations we have. But honestly, I don't think it's, like, so bad. By the way, can I add more money to the damn budget? I didn't even check. $3 million. Oh, no, I already have $5 million. Yeah, there we go. Throw that there. We have $2 million now. And you know what? Upgrade this stuff as well. Because, again, we have the money. Why not? So when will you be ready? I feel like attaching the power plant to the grid, this has to be... We're done in 212 days. So in less than a year, I'm hoping this will actually finish. And then we can do something neat. Maybe we'll get a lot of political power, or our income will, skyrocket. Something cool would happen. We'll increase pure GDP on the effect of our early reforms, combining with a planned expansion. Okay, so increase some of its cost. Then we'll begin privatizing the INI. What else do we actually have down here? Relax tariffs. Yeah, so let's privatize the INI. It's going to lose a lot of political power, but it's going to get rid of the Iberian economic nightmare. Increase income, expand foreign trade. Some naval dockyards. Our industrial output will improve slightly. We got a research slot. Let's go for... What's 19? You know what? Let's go for resource gain extraction. 2? What are you doing, by the way? Yeah, you still got native unrest, Portuguese, Legion presence. I mean, you guys haven't... People were saying that they might rebel against us, but so far they haven't. We don't even like them that much. We have a +2 opinion. They have claimed our territory, which I'm assuming is the territory they gave us earlier. Also, I'm surprised that nobody tried to colonize this land here. Probably one of the things I would have done. So what else? We got cruising to victory. You're not doing anything right now. So has Germany done their focus tree? To me, it seems like a little bit early for them to be done, but maybe they're waiting on something. Or again, they could just actually finish their focus tree at this point. And Boardman doesn't have that much content. Because I think Speer was finished around when we were done. The American campaign, if you remember it correctly. Okay, so we privatize the INI. Let's go for the Atlantic dockyards first. But these dockyards have not been destroyed by the Gibraltar project. Also, reform is currently still neutral. Yeah, keep on funding you and you. We have 33 resources, almost enough to strike at CNT. We might even be able to get two organizations done right now in one episode. Well, it's going to take 57 days. So probably early next episode. Yes, we're reinforcing scaffolding. We can have more money, but at this point, it doesn't make any sense to add more money. Like, why do so? Again, assuming that the 5% for attaching the power plant is all we need left to do. We have 37. You need 40 now. And you need 51. I mean, once one of you is finished, probably the military resources, then we can definitely crush CNT. The last group, the ETA, are, I think, Asturias? No, you're Asturias. I don't remember who the ETA is. Maybe Galicia? But we've dealt with the terrorists here. We've dealt with them in Portugal. Catalonia will be next. Maybe Andalusia? But I mean, I don't know if that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, Catalonia. Actually, it might just say here if I hover over it. Oh, Basque country. Then where were you? Oh, no, yeah, you're Basque. You're, like, Andalusia. Or you're Asturias, I should say. We got our dockyards. We'll relax tariffs a little bit. We're still at 37. 41. We can do it. We can kill 2 birds in 1 stone. Strike at CNT. Then we'll do some activity against the ETA. And yeah, we killed 2 birds. We've dealt with, yeah. So every battle is won. Nigh on 30 years later, the anarchists of CNT have finally accepted their defeat. Our ceaseless raids, arrests, and other policing action have proven too much for the treacherous Reg, and what few terrorists remain have scattered into the winds. This has been our hardest won victory so far. Support for the anarcho-syndicalist movement has never died in Catalonia. Giving the traitors no shortage of refuge and material support. The workers of Barcelona were a particularly difficult obstacle to surmount in our pursuit of the CNT, but no task is beyond the capacities of the AAS. Perhaps their armed wing broken, the Catalan anarchists will see the futility of their cause and abandon it for good. The AAS is skeptical, but it is safe to say that one of the largest thorns on our side have finally been removed. Yeah, we're still extremely stable. But I think with that, even though it's going to be a little bit of a shorter episode, I feel like with those two successes, this will be a good time for us to end this episode. So thanks everybody for watching. My name is Anthony. If you've enjoyed, thumbs up. If you want to see more, subscribe. And goodbye.